cold.
I brought a blanket.
I'm fine. She takes the blanket and wraps herself in it.
Your mother said you liked the beach.
This isn't the beach. The beach only happens in the summer during the day when the sun's out.
I will write that down.
Are we really going to do this?
Do what?
Sit out here until I confess how depressed I am so you can report grounds for hospitalization back to my mother.
No,
No what?
that wasn't exactly the plan.
But there is a plan.
Does there have to be?
You don't know my mother.
Interesting theory.
Growing up with her doesn't count. She's different now.
You think?
Are you being my uncle or are you being a shrink?
I'll never not be your uncle.
That's a double negative.
Sorry.
You didn't answer the question.
I'll always be your uncle. How's that?
Did my mother ask you to speak with me?
Yes.
Speak with me? Speak with me?
I'm confused.
Like, be my shrink, speak with me.
Honestly, I'm still wrestling with the whole this isn't the beach thing.
I'm only wondering because if you're on the clock, this becomes a privileged communication.
Ah.
So?
I am not on the clock. I am not your therapist, but I am your uncle, and I will never not love you. Sorry for the double negative.
So this isn't confidential?
Only if you want it to be.
Maybe.
I think you'd be surprised how not different she is, actually.
She's always been the pain in the ass?
You being my niece or my therapist?
Funny. She thinks I'm depressed again. She doesn't let me go into the next room without peering around the corner or asking me a million questions. Last week she got rid of every steak knife in that house, and this week she's sanding down the sharp edges in my room. And I like steak. I might as well be in the hospital.
Do you believe that?
You sound like you're on the clock.
Let me rephrase it as your uncle. What's your favorite kind of steak?
I hate steak.
I have so much to learn.
Maybe some lives aren't worth saving.
I don't agree.
Can you hear that? It's hypnotizing, don't you think? Like it's calling. The voice of the sea is seductive, never ceasing, whispering, clamoring, murmuring, inviting the soul to wander for a spell in the abysses of solitude, to lose itself in mazes of inward contemplation.
Did you write that?
It's Kate Chopin.
I was going to say, that might support some notion that you had an affinity for the beach, or the ocean at least.
From the awakening.
What's it about?
Freedom.
From...
Monotony, society, people, pity, this world.
What do you want freedom from?
Are we confidential?
Yes.
I'm not depressed. I just don't feel anything.
You're just like her, you know.
Don't say that.
Why? She's a beautiful woman. She's passionate, smart, fiery, captain of the tennis team, and she's a great bridge player.
What even is bridge?
I don't know. It's some stupid game with cards. It sounded funny in the moment. You have her smile.
Everybody always thinks you have to smile to be happy. It's like if you're not smiling, you couldn't possibly be happy. What if I am happy, but I don't want anyone to know?
Why wouldn't you want anyone to know?
Because it's mine and not anyone else's.
I can respect that.
Well, you can report back then.
I want to show you something. Madison.
What are you doing?
Shh. See the sand hourglassing? It means they're coming tonight.
Who's coming?
Shh. Turn that off. Off.
What is it?
The oldest species in the world.
A sea turtle?
Yes, people think dinosaurs are gone, but you're actually looking at one. These guys have been around for millions of years, and now they're in danger. Imagine that. You survive the T-Rex, but ultimately it's the humans that get you. Not enough people see the value of every life. Tomorrow, or sometime tonight more likely, this beach will be covered. There'll be thousands of these little guys. They'll crawl out of these holes looking for a safe space and something to eat, and their instinct will draw them towards the brightest light. Hopefully somewhere out there. But some of them will get lost, disoriented, head out onto the street. Some will get stuck in the reeds. Some will get scooped up by birds. And some will make it into the water. It's dangerous out there too, but it's their home. Very few will survive. And 30 years or so from now, they'll come back to exactly this place and lay hundreds of eggs themselves. They say you can see the mothers cry when they lay their eggs. Scientists will tell you some mumbo jumbo about releasing salt or getting the sand out of their eyes, but I just assume it's because they know there's nothing more beautiful than life, the gift that motherhood brings. Put them close on the sand. Let them walk in on their own. That way they'll find their way back.
She places the turtle gently on the sand. She watches for a moment before walking to the nest. They're coming! She scoops up another turtle and jogs quickly again to the water's edge. After the release, she jogs back towards the nest.
Bobby hands Madison the bucket.
With an increased urgency, she returns to the nest and gently scoops up turtles one at a time and places them in the bucket. She runs back to the ocean and releases the hatchlings. Are you going to just stand there or are you going to come help?
Bobby joins his niece, squats in the sand, and collects the turtles into the bucket, one at a time.